Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am the pick a card Empress, and today we are asking what's your person's next move towards you. Now, I am still in France by my sister Lily Rose, so that's why you guys are enjoying beautiful overhead views. Okay, all right, so let me just go through the piles. So, pile one, so all the tokens on top are fridge magnets from different places that I went to. So pile one, you have Amsterdam, okay, oops, right? And the Mermaid Tarot. Pile two, you have Bordano. It's one of the Venetian islands, and they're very famous for their lace. And they're beautiful houses, and no house is painted in the same color. And that was my favorite color whilst I was there, this beautiful yellow. Okay, and this is the Good Tarot. Pile three, you have this Liechtenstein cuckoo clock and the Gilded Tarot Royale by, of course, our boy Ciro Machete. And pile four, you have the Prague French magnet with the clock tower and everything, and the Fairy Tarot. So do your thing, pick a pile, and I'm going to be back shortly with your reading. Take care. See you later. Hey, pile one, if you chose the tarot, the Mermaid Tarot, and the Amsterdam house, this is going to be your reading. Okay, before I get into the tarot, what we're going to do, let's get a significator for your person and their energy towards you at this time. So I'll get a feel for who I am tapping into. Their energy towards you at this time. So today we're asking, what's the next move towards you? Well, let me see how they're feeling towards you right now. How they're viewing you. All right, we have the Fool. Well, it's not exactly the Fool. It's the Clown. And this is someone who has gotten themselves in some sort of bind. They feel trapped now. They're in some sort of tower. And they really don't even know how to get out of there. It's someone who is looking at the past. I mean, just look at its face, looking at the past, and there are loads of regrets, feeling a lot of immature energy in the past from this person. Let's look at their energy towards you. This is the Symbolum Oracle deck. Okay. All right, so we have this here. This person feels blessed. They feel blessed to have met you. They feel like the universe is showering them with blessings, and they are humbled by the gift that the universe has decided to send into their life. This person sees you as abundant. There's corn here. There's grapes here. There's a kind of decadence as well that they associate with your energy because you enjoy life. They see you as very stable. They see you in command of your destiny, your world, your universe. They see you as very spiritual, commanding a lot of spiritual power. And they see that like you've done a lot of healing. And they are humbled and awed by your energy. There's something about you that makes them want to be a better person. There's something about you that makes them want to sacrifice their old ways and really surrender to the divine. I'm gonna pull some emotions cards on that. Let me see if I can get more clarity. This is my emotional intelligence deck. I'm still in France by my sister, so that's why you're getting an overhead view. We have anxious avoidant. Okay. So this is someone who may not be talking to you at this time. And it's because they have a lot to say, but they're not sure what the reception is going to be because part of them feels unworthy of you. They see you as a gift and they feel unworthy. Let's get 3 cards on this image. So we have envious. We have purposeless. It's interesting. So your energy is triggering some really deep emotions that they have about themselves. I sense a lot of, I was just about to say when it came out, a lot of self-loathing from this person. They envy you. They envy the way that you enjoy life. They envy the way that you have been blessed by the universe. They see you enjoying the favor of the universe. They feel like you have found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and your blessings are just coming one after the other. And it makes them feel like, what's my purpose? So this is also someone who is trying to find their purpose in this life. Okay? And feeling really ashamed, because that's what I'm getting, ashamed. Feeling really ashamed that they've lived their life. They've lived a kind of meaningless life, just being a clown. Remember the clown underneath there? Just being a clown, maybe just partying, just not developing any very close attachments. Even if this person might have someone else in their life, they're not really close to that person, right? This is someone, they're inside, they're a child. They're a child. You know, and they're realizing that they have a lot of healing to do and they have a lot of catching up to do if they are to get to where you're at. And this is someone who wants to get to where you're at because we have this energy of envy. So they envy you. They envy you. They envy the favor that the divine is showering upon you. And it triggers them very deeply because this is someone who feels like they've just not found their purpose. They've just not found the reason why they're here. And you seem to just have your shit together. Why would you want someone like them? That's what they're asking themselves. Why would you want someone like them? You have your shit together. Let's see what is going to be the next move towards you. And I'm going to put like some time parameters. So the next move towards you within a month of you watching this reading. It's going to be the next move towards you. Underneath the deck, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Unstable, a lot of instability because you've shaken their world. Okay, they thought that they thought that they had it all, that the life that they were living was enough, and then you came and now they're just dissatisfied with everything that they've ever done and where they're at. So we have Temperance here. So we have Saggy. We have Justice in reverse, Libra, all major arcana. So this is a watershed moment in your person's life. We have Three of Cups. And it's really just confirming the messages that I said just before, actually. Let me just get out all the cards. We have the Magician. We have the Page of Pentacles. And we have Judgment. So 4 major arcana out here. Right? So we have Scorpio here with this Judgment card. And the Magician is Gemini and Virgo. What's going to be their next move towards you? Expect them to reach out. But before we get to this reach out place, let's just go over some of these cards here. Your person is having a wake-up call. Okay? They're having a wake-up call, a really rude awakening. I see them looking back at their life, and that's what I was telling you. This person was just partying, having fun. They didn't want anything serious with anyone. They just weren't really ready to settle down. I feel like you might be dealing with some kind of Peter Pan, whether they're male or female in body, doesn't matter. This is not someone that wanted to grow up and face the adult responsibilities of life. And to take responsibility, you have to take accountability. And they didn't want to do that either. So they were just moving through life purposeless, just aimless, just absolutely aimless. Absolutely aimless. Okay? And you see, when you don't know yourself and you don't have a path, a vision for yourself, any road takes you anywhere. And that's what was happening. And when you don't know yourself and you don't love yourself, because this person, they're feeling pathetic, you could really hurt a lot of people. Because you're going to treat people like how you treat yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. So this person's realizing that whilst they were there, living their aimless life, right? They hurt a lot of people. They cause a lot of pain. And this is a sobering, for some of them could be literally sobering. Maybe it's the first time they're actually being sober in their life. It's a sobering moment for a person to look back and realize the damage that they have done. So you know what's going to be the next move towards you? It's eventually that they will reach out. Okay, they're going to reach out in the hand of friendship. But before all of that, they're going to be taking time alone to really get themselves into balance. We have temperance here. Really get themselves into balance. They realize, my life is out of whack, right? I really need to get myself into balance here, okay? I really need to sort myself out, right? Bring balance back to my life. I feel like if I'm out of control I'm not in control of my life. So they're going to be trying to assert control in their life. And whatever loose ends that needs to be tied up, this person wants to tie that up because they don't want to live this life anymore. They want to be the master of their destiny. They're not going to be fickle and just blow in the wind like before. They want to be the master of their destiny. They want to be the master of themselves. They want to be like you. So this person is choosing to wake the fuck up. They're choosing to wake up. That's going to be their next move towards it. They're choosing to wake up. And they're answering the call of spirit to live a more purposeful life. And we may get these calls several times throughout our lifetime, as if we are ready at that point to answer. And it looks like your person is at this point where they're ready to answer the call of spirit. They're ready for something more high vibrational than what they were doing before. They're ready for the next level. They're ready for the next level. Ready for that level up. And they're going to reach out with the help of their spirit guides that are working with them. I see them here. This person is going to reach out. Okay? There's something that's on their chest that they need to tell you. There's something that they need to tell you. What does this person need to tell you? So expect them to reach out. It's going to be in the spirit of friendship, but expect this person to reach out. Because there's something that they want to say. What do they want to tell you? Underneath the deck. I visit you in my dreams. Oh, I visit you in your dreams because it makes me feel safe and comforted. So this is someone, as I told you, inside is still a child. So they're not very emotionally developed. Okay, this is something that they are working on. And this person only feels comfortable expressing themselves in the dream state. Okay. Sounds kind of pathetic, but that's just to tell you the level of trauma that this person went through as a child, where they don't feel safe to even express their innermost thoughts. What do they want to tell you? We can't be together unless we're both in alignment with our purpose and divinity. I told you that. This is something that they've realized. They realize that both of you are not on the same page. And this person wants to level up. They want to be in alignment with you. They realize right now, if they were to come towards you, they're only bringing you down. They're only lowering your vibration. So they want to raise their vibration high enough to be in alignment with you. Because whatever is not in alignment with you will fall away. And this person doesn't want to fall away from your life. We both need to work on ourselves and trust spirit more. So this could be their higher self coming through as well. So sometimes, especially when we're in the one embodying the feminine energy, we can have a kind of spiritual superiority when it comes to our person, right? We feel like we've arrived, or we definitely feel that we're more high vibrational than they are and all of that. But the spirit is reminding you here that healing is an infinite process. Okay? What makes you more advanced than this person right now is that you have tools. Okay? You have tools and you have self-awareness, right? They have self-awareness, but now they need some tools. Okay? So you have to continue working on yourself. You're not there waiting for this person to level up. You're continuing to evolve. And eventually, this person looks like they're determined to catch up with you because they want you in their life. What do they want you to know? What do they want to get off their chest? So this is someone, I think, that really wants to talk about the spiritual awakening that they're going through. Because this is spiritual stuff that they want to talk about. So they want to talk about what's happening to them. They want to talk about the vision that they may have for this connection. They may want to talk about their wounding, their healing. Okay, so this person, they're deep. And I don't know how they got away with acting like such a clown for so long. Right? That's one hell of a mask. Because this person they're deep like the ocean. They've been you know that card, how do you dim to fit in? They've been dimming their light just to fit in. But no longer. This is someone who's ready for the level up. Ready for the level up. That's part number one. I listen to music and think of you. The lyrics help me connect with your soul. So this person, music really resonates with them. And it reminds me of, especially when you're a teenager, this is the way that you feel understood, right? So this is where they're at. That you're dealing with a teenager. But everything reminds them of you, They get a lot of things. So really feeling a deep spiritual awakening that's happening here. And they have an awareness that you and them are connected at a soul level. Whatever's been happening to them, it's firmly cemented that idea in their mind. Please don't focus on my karmic situation. This doesn't serve you. I have my own journey and karma to explore. So I do think that's their higher self coming through there. Sometimes we can get fixated on what's happening over there. And sometimes what's happening over there can distract us from what's meant to be happening over here, right? So Spirit is reminding you that being obsessed with what your person's going through and the lessons that they're learning can sometimes be distracting you from the lessons and the healing that's supposed to take place on your end of the connection. So they're asking you to be mindful of that. Now, there's been at least two messages about you also needed to work on yourself and needed to heal. So it wasn't part of the plan that I had written down, but let's explore that for a moment. What does Spirit want you to work on right now? Let's ask. Okay. Let me just go with the flow for part one here. What does Spirit want you to work on? Right? So you're meant to be doing some healing on this side of the fence here. What do they want you to work on at this time? And we have here the strong man, and we see two snakes. Now, snakes are, especially when they're looking like this, these two snakes here could be Kundalini energy. Snakes are symbols of transformation, shedding the old skin. I mean, it could definitely be temptation as well. So it could be Spirit wants you to work on triumphing over your addictions, codependencies, because everybody has them. All right, but let's have a look. Let's pull a card. What are you meant to be working on right now? And we go back here with the man again. All right. So what you're meant to be doing is healing your inner masculine. Okay. Now, masculine energy is concerned with the use of power, primarily power and order, power and order, and the way we present ourselves to the world. Okay. So the distorted masculine, which is apparently what you're meant to be healing, right? So it looks like your inner masculine is distorted. Now, when the inner masculine is distorted, they are concerned about forcing people, right? Forcing people to do things their way. It's their way or the highway. Thinking that we know what's best for others and trying to enforce it or impose it on others, especially even our ideas, trying to impose our ideas on others, trying to impose our will on others, trying to dictate a particular place till at some point, sometimes we even want to dictate to Spirit what's going to happen. Okay. Distorted masculine energy can be very competitive. Okay. They're moving from a place of scarcity consciousness. So they're there about acquiring things, collecting things. So it's, just consuming things, even more than we need. Okay. It's the energy of avarice. And that can manifest itself in so many different ways as well. Workaholism, that kind of thing. So lack mentality, where we're only concerned about, the material world, and we're not concerned about the development of our souls. Masculine energy can also try to dominate by objectifying people, right? Treating people like they're things, not seeing their humanity, not seeing them as a divine being, and they're having their own consciousness. Again, trying to impose our will on someone. So Spirit is asking you to, Spirit is saying that the inner masculine within you, that masculine principle within you, is requiring healing right now. And if it is that you are in a situation that's a twin flame situation, as you heal your masculine, then your outer masculine, the masculine on the outside, that's represented on the outside of yourself, also heals. Okay? So you help yourself, you help the connection. All right. What's the last bit of advice from Spirit? I release my need to be perfect. Okay, that's another thing, perfectionism. Exactly, because we want people to have a perfect image of us all the time. And I center into my commitment to serve the world more love. That's beautiful. Oops. Okay, we got two. In order to awaken the world to the light, I must not be afraid to shine. So Spirit is saying, you are needed right now. Okay? And you can't, walk in your purpose if you are more concerned with somebody else's. Right? So Spirit is saying, mind your business. Mind your business. Right now it's time to shine your light and live out your purpose. And then it says, I pray before I pay. Getting several messages with that. I pray before I pay. I'm getting one to be in a place of gratitude about the abundance of resources that you may have, whether those resources are material resources. It looks like you have enough in order to give back to the world. Have enough material resources to satisfy all your needs. But it's also asking for spiritual guidance on this journey, because this I pay feeling, this feeling kind of like karma to me. So Spirit is saying there is some sort of karmic lesson that is requiring your attention right now. And they want you to commune with your guides, if you have a deity, your ancestors, whatever it is. So for their guidance as to what is the next step. Because this feeling like a karmic debt. I pray before I pay. Okay, Power One. So that was your reading. I hope that was helpful. Just grateful for everything that you guys do for this channel. Your likes, your shares, commenting down below. Even if it's just a heart emoji, it all helps with the algorithm and it helps our community grow and expand. And I'm very grateful to you. Take care. Much love. Bye. Hey, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. And today we're asking what's going to be the next move towards you. So if you chose the house in Borano, and Borano is very famous for its lace, and this was my favorite house in Borano. In Borano, no two houses can have the same color. You have to actually get approval from the council in order to change the color of your home. I mean, kind of Gestapo-ish, but the result was very, very beautiful. All right, so before we get into what's your person's next move towards you, we're going to look at your person's energy towards you at this time. So that really helps me interpret the cards that may come out in this reading. So if you chose the Borano and the Good Tarot, this is going to be your reading. Still in France by my sister, so that's why you're getting that beautiful overhead view. All right, we have a warrior coming through. And look at all those reds and oranges in the background, right? So we're dealing with some fire sign here. This person is a hunter. They go after what they want. And they never give up. They're very resilient. Look at all these people in the battlefield here that have been vanquished, and they're like the last man standing. This is a lot of fire energy. Well, the sign of Aries is here. So this is the masculine coming through, and they're coming through to claim their prize, the spoils of war. Let's get the significator. We have the Fool. Power One had the Clown, but you have the Fool. This is someone who's preparing to take a leap of faith. This is someone who feeling kind of desperate, kind of reckless right now, to be honest, but they don't care. They feel a sense of urgency about coming towards you. So I feel that you can expect like powerful, swift movement from this person. Now, this is a card number 4 here. So this is even though they're pictured as a fool, They're embodying the masculine energy of the Empress. So that warrior underneath the deck felt like a King of Wands, but we also have the Emperor coming through as well. So Aries energy really being featured very strongly in here. Okay. And this is someone who's decided to go after what they want. Let me pull 3 emotional intelligence cards on that. And let's look at the energy that is driving this leap of faith. Let's see. So this is someone who wants to run towards you here. We have someone who feels burdened. Okay, so it's not, they have a lot of responsibilities, but they're trying not to let that keep them back from going after what they want. We have concerned. So it might be fear that might be driving this. We have repulsed. And we have curious. What an interesting lineup of emotions here. I feel this is fair. This reminds me of my sister at the moment. This might be getting a little loud. Just a second, guys. My sister at the moment is watching The Ultimatum. And basically it's persons who have brought their significant other to this show where they've issued an ultimatum. Either we either get married or we break up or whatever it is. And just being there propelled at least 2 of the guys to propose, because I wouldn't say they realized how much they love their partner, but they were afraid of losing their partner, because part of the show is where they have to go and live 3 weeks with someone new. And when they realized that their partner was going to live 3 weeks with someone new, suddenly all of them got up and proposed, right? So they weren't motivated by love, because if they were motivated by love, then they probably would not have reached the place where they were going on a TV show with an ultimatum, right? So it was definitely fair. And this is the same energy that I feel here. I feel like this person, Spirit is showing me like a shuttered door or shuttered window. This person does not know what you're doing. I don't know if you've shut down your social media or you're just not as open as before, but there's been some sort of change in you and they don't know why. So they are imagining the worst. They're imagining the worst. They're imagining that you are just like the others, right? The others that came before you, the persons who broke their heart. They're imagining that you have someone else. They're imagining that you no longer love them. Oh gosh, this person, they have a lot of anxiety, a lot of fears, especially around being abandoned. And there's something that happened recently that's really triggered these fears. So even though part of them is just repulsed by you or who they think you are right now, the other part of them just wants to run towards you. So they're a whole bag of emotions. Now I really want to let's pull some tarot cards on this one. Let's see what's going on here. Let me not use this pen. Sorry. Okay. Underneath the deck, 9 of Cups. Yeah, so this person is very codependent and very attached to you. But somehow there's something that happened recently that's really shaken their world. They feel like They feel like they're going to lose you for some reason. Let's pull a card on concerned. We have Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Now, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, he's the neurotic, right? This is an unbalanced Virgo. Virgo upright already has a lot of fears and anxieties, right? They're always imagining the worst scenario and they have trust issues. When this is in reverse, we're talking about paranoia. And that's why I was telling you, this person has a lot of fears, a lot of thoughts running through their head. And it's because of their wounding, right? I told you it's the abandonment issue. Look, we have the Five of Pentacles here, right? This person's afraid of being alone. And it's a mother wound. It's a mother wound. So you have triggered this mother wound that's in them, and it's about feeling abandoned. Why they're repulsed. Yeah, Queen of Cups. I told you it's the mommy. They think they're like everybody else. Everybody's just abandoned them. Didn't support them, left them out in the cold. And they're trying to figure out why. They feel like you have done them an injustice. I feel so sad for this person, to be honest. What's going to be their next move towards you? I'm sure they're going to rush in because this person's propelled by fear. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's just a lot of fear. It's desperation. I'm not sure if that's the best vibration to be in it. Underneath the deck, we have the Page of Cups. So the next move towards them, once you expect them to reach out, and it's going to be an emotional bid. In Pile 1, I felt like it will be just friendship. They might just say hello. But this, I feel like there's going to be some kind of expression of emotion. Whether it's I miss you, or they might send you a song, or there's something emotional that they want to communicate. All right, the next move towards you. We have the Star card in reverse. So just feeling sorry for themselves, a feeling of hopelessness, Aquarius energy. We have the Chariot. I told you that they are a bag of nerves and they're a ball of emotions, so many different things. Okay, we have Cancer here. Seem like two conflicting energies to me. We have the Magician, and look how determined this Magician looks. We have Virgo here again, Virgo and Gemini. All major arcana, right? So this is big for your person. We have the Eight of Earth or the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, what am I getting here? Well, the most immediate next move towards you is going to be feeling sorry for themselves and feeling hopeless. Okay, they're going to be sulking. They're going to be, some of them, they might be depressed. Okay, really sinking deep into their emotions. And for this person, this is going to serve them, because this is going to allow them to finally confront. Yeah, because I'm feeling confront with that Chariot card. Finally confront a lot of emotions that they have been unwilling to face and they have been unwilling to heal. Okay, with this Four of Swords here. So I feel like these go together. This and this goes together. No, it's correct. It's correct. Because Eight of Pentacles is a card of working on yourself. So they're going to be working on themselves. This is what I feel like, yeah. They're going to be working on themselves, okay? And really diving deep and healing. And this is what's going to allow them to really move forward. Because this person's been stuck in some kind of time loop here. Okay, that's what I get with this Two of Pentacles. just going round and round, round and round, round and round, round and round. Like, in Trinidad we call it spinning top in mud, right? You're not making any progress. It seems like if you're moving because you're spinning, but you're not making any progress. And that's what your person's been doing. But this time, because they're healing, they're really going to be moving forward. And they're moving forward towards the magician. And what does the magician represent? The magician represents taking charge of your life. The magician represents manifesting what you want, being in charge of your own destiny, harnessing all of your spiritual power because you know you have the tools to do so. So they're going to be going through a bit of a roller coaster. A bit of a roller coaster. But I see this person moving towards you. They're coming with some kind of message. They come with some kind of message. Let me see what the message is, but they're coming in with some sort of message. After they do a lot of deep healing, a lot of deep work. I feel it's going to be a rough ride because they're going to be trying to move from this hopeless place. It's a real journey, yeah? Hopeless, then deciding to work on themselves, doing all this deep healing, then not sure how to move forward, but knowing that they have to, and then taking charge. So I do feel like you will hear from this person, but not before they feel sorry for themselves. Let's see what this person wants to tell you. What do they want to tell you? My heart is guarded and locked in a case, and you have that key, but you don't know how to unlock it. They certainly are guarded, okay, and easily triggered. But they are saying that you have the key, but you don't know how to unlock it. This person needs a lot of reassurance. They need consistency. Consistency is very important to this person. Any change up in the routine makes this person want to bolt. So if you, and I'm not saying you have, if you've been playing games whereby you've withdrawn your energy intentionally, or you're trying to make this person miss you or whatever, or you were playing some kind of game, it's actually having the opposite effect. This person needs someone that is consistent because they need to build that trust. But they're saying that you have the key. All right, what do they want to tell you? I'm scared you will... Okay. I'm scared you will abandon me, so I push you away to protect myself and my heart. We knew it, right? We saw it, right? I'm scared you will abandon me. Yeah, but you know, as much as being consistent will help, recognize that, you know, we're not responsible for other people's healing, okay? We can do what we can to foster and, you know, foster trust in a relationship, but rarely it is on the other person to do their healing. They have the issue, okay? So you're trying to reassure your person, you know, by being consistent and all of that, but it's rarely on them to heal. And it's a mother wound. And as long as they have that, they will continue to attract people who will abandon them. I haven't been honest with you, but I was protecting you. This sounds like gaslight and BS, but anyways, I'm reading it. No, they were protecting themselves because they didn't want to be abandoned by you. Say that. Anyways, but there are things that this person hasn't told you. They've held back vital information. I think they've convinced themselves that they were protecting you, but really they didn't want to lose you. Right? They were protecting themselves from your loss. We are mirroring the same lessons and wounds. So Spirit is also letting you know, for some of you, this might be a twin flame connection. And if your person has abandonment issues and trust issues, guess who have abandonment and trust issues? So Spirit is saying this person is mirroring you exactly. Okay? If you play games, they will play games. Okay? And if they have abandonment issues, you have abandonment issues. And if they have an issue with codependency, then you have an issue with codependency. Spirit sends me intuitive downloads and synchronicities about you all the time. So this person, they can't forget you, and they'll be always being pushed by Spirit to move towards you. And they feel that connection with you. They feel like this is something deep. And that's why it's also scary, right? That's why it's so scary, because you are the closest that they've ever allowed anybody to be to them, which means you have the most power to hurt them. You know? So every now and then, when they get triggered, they are going to act out because, you know, they're wounded, you know? Okay. What's Spirit's advice for you right now? What's Spirit's advice? I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. So Spirit's reminding you that you have your own healing to do. And Spirit's saying, for some of you, this is definitely an abandonment wound. Okay? So I feel for this pile, it's about mastering the mind. Because half of this acting out that's happening with your person is because they've allowed their mind to wander to so many different possibilities and permutations of things. And half of it doesn't even exist. Right? So this is about mastering the mind. And once we master the mind, then we're not easily triggered by our projections, you know? I let my intimate relationships be my greatest learning devices for spiritual growth and healing. So we go back to what Spirit said. What this person was saying, that you guys are mirroring each other perfectly. So whatever dysfunctional behavior you're seeing with your person, know that you have it to some sort of degree, and it needs to be addressed. Know that this person is always wearing you, always triggering you for your growth and healing. They're not just triggering you for triggering's sake. They're pointing at some deep wound within you that still needs healing. Okay. That's their job. And it looks like you are doing your job. Your person's totally triggered here. You are doing your job. Allow them to do theirs. Let them point you to the wound. You know. Our pal to your soul, that was your reading. I hope that was helpful for you. Take care. And I appreciate everything that you do for this channel. Your likes, your shares. Just put in the little heart emojis or hug emojis down below. They all help with the algorithm. Those of you that click on ads, everything helps. And it helps our community expand and grow. And I'm grateful. Thank you. Bye. Hey, Pal 3, if you chose the Gilded Tarot Royale, And this Liechtenstein clock, this is going to be your reading. So let's put Mr. Cuckoo Clock over here. And before I get into your reading, what I will do, let me take a significator for your person's energy towards you at this time. And for this, I'll be using, one of my favorite decks. It is the Symbolum Oracle deck. I don't use it often enough, and perhaps I should, because it's a pretty amazing deck. I am by my sister Lily Rose, which is why you guys are getting this lovely overhead view. Absolutely amazing. All right, so underneath the deck, all right, this is someone who feels broken. They feel defeated. It's just been a long road for them, and they're really wounded at this time. So the person almost feel like they're giving up. Now, because this person has crutches, it's also telling me that they're very addicted to your energy, and they feel like, because you're a crutch, right? You're the crutch that they use to get through life, right? So every now and then, when things get too tough, they come by you, they get a fix, they get high, and then they go back to their usual life. But it looks like you cut them off, because these look like scythes to me, and that's all about just cutting things out. So I think you cut them out, and this is why they're feeling like this, because they have to face their pain and their baggage. Okay, they have to face their pain and their baggage. So that's the underlying energy. All right. I don't really reversals myself in this unless I'm called to. I'm not called to. How are they seeing you? Even though a man is pictured here, it is a monk, and monks, spiritual gurus, they are very in touch with their feminine side. It is their primary energy that they function out of, right? And they're receptive, right? Everything comes to them. They don't do anything. Everything comes, right? Because they are receptive to spirit. They are devoted to spirit. And this is how this person sees you. This person sees you as a devotee of spirit. They see you as an empress. Even though this is mass male in body, this is an empress, what I'm seeing in front of me, because all of nature is responding to this empress, this stubborn ass goat and sheep alike, responding to the empress. Okay, everybody's responding. The plants, the birds, the field, everything, all of nature responds to the empress, and that's how they see you. So this person may have taken a vow of poverty, but they're not poor at all, because the whole of the universe is responding to them, and that's how they see you. Now I see a weeping willow. Well, it looks like a weeping willow in the back. So they feel like you have put your past pain behind them. Because I don't know, weeping willows always look like the saddest trees to me, but it's one of my favorite trees. So they feel like you've put all the burdens of the past behind, and it's just abundance that's coming to you. Just abundance. I see cows in the back there. So they may view you as a sacred cow that's not to be touched, but only to be worshipped. They see you as very valuable, right? Very valuable, very caring. Look at how this person's cradling the lamb. They may see you as a good shepherd. Okay, so they may see you as a leader, and definitely a spiritual leader. That's coming through clear as day. They're drawing my attention to the girdle around this person's waist. And to gird one's loins means like to prepare for battle, to prepare for some kind of adversity, right? So you are always prepared for adversity, but at the same time, you're enjoying life. You're strong. You know whatever comes, you're going to deal with it. You're resilient. But that doesn't make you hard. And you welcome all of life. I'm going to pull some emotions cards on this. But this is beautiful how this person views you. They view almost kind of saint-like. Almost kind of saint-like. Pile 3 might have a message in pile 2. Because very much the same kind of Messiah energy that they see you. And maybe that can have a negative connotation because maybe they think that you're there to save them. Let's pull some emotions cards on this. All right, what are the emotions surrounding this idea that they have of you? What are the emotions? Intrigued. They're absolutely intrigued by you. And I think this is someone, I'm not going to say that they have ADHD or anything like that because, that will do an injustice to persons who are living with that. But definitely, I don't think this person is someone where people may hold their interest for a long time, but they feel like they could study you forever, What are the energies? Okay, so painful. Hedonistic. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And we have foolish. All right. So I'm feeling lots of regret. From the time I saw that painful card, lots of regret. And they have you on a pedestal, eh? I don't think they have a true image of who you are. They have put you on a pedestal. You are as close to God, Goddess, universe to this person. Okay? And they feel like they will never be good enough for you. Right? But what they're also regretting is how they treated you in the past. This really pains this person. They're seeing how absolutely foolish they were. And they're really beating themselves up because your value, your divinity is very clear to them now. And they want to know, how could they have missed that? How could they have missed that before? How could they have done like the words I'm hearing is like royal fuck up like that. So they're really beating themselves up. And they find it hard to forgive themselves. Because when they think back on your past interactions, the things they may have said, and definitely the things that they've done, they feel very foolish. And spiritual me just like a little child hiding their head and hiding their eyes behind their hands, and just it's that overwhelming feeling of shame every time they think about that. Every time they think about approaching you, it's shame, 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 shame. But equally present with the shame is the magnetism that they have for you, that attraction. That attraction is not going anywhere. That magnetic pull towards you, because everything is being pulled towards you. And they are not exempt, right? So they feel pulled towards you. They're as magnetized as these birds. They just want a piece of you. Not even all. This person worships you. It's like just to touch the hem of your garment kind of thing. That kind of vibe that's coming through. I'm not sure that's not good for a balanced relationship. That kind of worship, because that's what it is. It's worship. I don't think they're seeing your humanity. They're only seeing your divinity, and that's very intimidating for this person. Let's look at the next move towards you. So, they're magnetized. They're magnetized. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think they have a choice, to be honest, but to come towards you. But we're still going to ask anyway. But they're magnetized. Maybe they'll just settle for watching your pictures. I don't know. Let me see what the tarot said. But it's like they feel like they have to do something too. It feels like a compulsion. It feels like a compulsion. Yeah, I told you. And look, we have here judgment in reverse. And the fool in reverse. So that energy of being foolish and recognizing that they misjudged you, it is ever present. So there's an overwhelming sense of shame that they have here. And they're trying to forgive themselves, but it's difficult. It's difficult. All right, let's see. What's the next move towards you? The Hierophant. This person's taking you very seriously. Yeah? Whatever their intentions are, it is honorable. They're taking you very, very seriously. So we have Taurus there. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Yeah, there's a lot of pain, and it's right now in that painful card. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse, and that's a card of addiction. It's a card of a codependency. But we picked up on that already, right? We have Death card. Wow. Scorpio. Taurus and Scorpio. This person has come full circle. Come full circle. Maybe they took the scenic route and came right back to you. We have the Strength card, Leo. Lots of major arcana out here, isn't it? And then we have the Seven of Cups already. So, good news. They are evolving. And bad news is that the pain is binding them as to the way forward too. Okay? Right now, this person feels very, very confused. And that is because their mind is focusing on so many different things. Their love for you, the pain of the past, their actions, thinking about all kinds of different things if you're entertaining new love. So many different things going through this person's head, you know. It's their brain is just the ego in this person is very, very strong. Very, very strong. Anyway, what am I getting? The next move towards you. The next move towards you is to transform. I'm going to tell you right away, I don't think this person is going to reach out in any kind of substantial way within a month's time, because that's what I asked about, their actions towards you within a month's time. I don't think they're going to reach out to you in any substantial way. I think what they are going to be doing is what they're meant to be doing, which is learning this bloody spiritual lesson whereby, you know, you don't fuck around with people. You don't play around with people's emotions. Okay? So this is what they're learning. You know, the Hierophant is about a soul contract, but it's also a spiritual lesson. And when it's upright, it's that spiritual lesson being learned. And we have here the Death card. So they are not only learning the spiritual lesson, but allowing for the transformation of themselves. It looks like in the past, they were giving their power away to their past pain and hurt. When it's from childhood, when it's from previous relationships, they were just projecting all that wounding onto you. And it looks like they really hurt you. For some of you, I'm getting very strongly here. This person, they were a philanderer. They were entertaining multiple options. And for others of you, I do feel like this person had some sort of substance issue that they were also giving their power away to. And that is because your person has had a lot of trauma. I'm not making up excuses for them, but I'm telling you the reasons why. Because sometimes it helps us to understand. Now, understanding shouldn't put us in a position where we are relaxing all our boundaries because, oh my God, you feel sorry for this person and you're taking this person as a charity case. No. When we hear about reasons, it moves us to compassion so that we can have empathy for this person, but at the same time, we know we have to have empathy for ourselves. All right? So it's going to help us do our own forgiveness because it looks like there's been a lot of pain under this bridge. There's a lot of pain in this lineup. This person really, really hurt you. Multiple times. Multiple times. And you can only step into forgiveness when you recognize where they were coming from, when you recognize the kind of tools that they have, which are probably non-existent, and when you recognize it's a spiritual lesson that also helps you evolve, right? It helps. It helps. Doesn't take away all the pain, but it helps. So I want you to know that at the time this person could only do what they did. You could not have expected another outcome from this person. You know why? because this person didn't love themselves at all. And when you have an unhealthy relationship with yourself, you cannot have a healthy relationship with other people. That's just a lie. So for probably the first time in their life, they're facing their shadow. They're facing their pain. And as they face their shadow, face their pain, and as they heal and as they evolve, especially evolve emotionally and spiritually, they are now understanding what are the repercussions of their actions. They're now putting themselves in your shoes. They're now feeling that pain. And that's where all this shame is coming through. Now this person still wants you. They have some wild urges which they're trying to hold back right now. I feel there's a lot of sexual energy that this person has towards you, but this person, they don't want to hurt you anymore. So if you feel they kind of pull back their energy, or they maybe even be, I hope not, I hope they're not ghosting you. If they're ghosting you at this time, it's because they want to protect you from themselves and these urges that they need to get a handle on. They need to get a handle on. Because they've lived a life of no accountability, no boundaries, no scruples. And when you've lived that kind of life, it takes a while to really rein yourself back in and live a healthy life where you care about yourself, where you care about others. And it takes a big untowing, because that's what it is, an untowing of the heart. Because to do all these things, you have to shut off your heart. You have to distance yourself from your heart. You have to unplug your heart. You got to put that heart on ice. So right now, this person trying to untoward their heart. That's what they're trying to do. Trying to untoward their heart. And doing a good job of it. Doing a good job of it, but they know that they still have a lot of work to do. So their next action towards you is to focus on themselves. To really focus on healing their pain, to really focus on forgiving those that they need to forgive. To focus on their transformation. To focus on being a better person and to becoming a devotee to themselves. To becoming principled. To find their own power. To save their own self. And that's going to be the next move towards you. Okay. What do they want you to know? What do they want to tell you? So in a month's time, don't expect them to reach out in any kind of big kind of way. Expect hi and hello. If anything at all. But this person is going to be extremely self-focused. And in a healthy way. In a healthy way. Okay? I am healing and working on my personal growth. Right? Please be patient with me. And so they want you to know. Right? So they're affirming everything that I've said before. And they're asking for your patience because this person does care about you. They just want to be a better person for themselves and for everyone that they're connected to. Okay? I told you. I have many addictions, including work, sex, and substances. Yes, we know. Would you still love and accept me? So, they're working hard to, as I told you, rein in a lot of these things. But in the back of their mind, what if I fuck up? So I don't think this person's going to approach you in a serious manner unless they know with some measure of certainty that they have a fair measure of control over themselves, that that they're getting help, that they're getting support to deal with these desires that they have, indulged to extremes and excess. Okay, they don't want to hurt you. And they're wondering if they do fuck up, because nobody's perfect. You know, will you leave them? Will you be able to forgive them? You know? I want to talk to you, but I don't know what to say. Right? I get you. Because they don't want to give you any promises, or false promises, okay? They don't want to sell you any more dreams. This person, they want to work from a place of integrity. This separation hurts, but I'm growing more every day. So I do think that this person is taking time for themselves. And I'm really getting an accelerated growth and evolution for this person, because they're taking it seriously. Let's get one more. If we trust spirit, we know that everything is happening for our highest good. So they are trusting in spirit, and they are trusting that this time, and it might be apart, serves both of you. And, you know, that they're doing what they're meant to do, which is, you know, focusing on themselves and healing. A part of them is panicking that they may lose you, but at the same time, they don't want to come towards you as the same personality, okay? They want to be a better person, all right? Okay, so what is the advice for you from Spirit at this time? What's the advice for you? What's the advice? And this is the Miracles Now deck, and underneath the deck, my positive energy leaves a powerful impression on the world. All right, so Spirit is saying, yes, you're here for your own growth and evolution, but you're also here for the evolution and elevation of the planet. And they're asking you to do what you came here to do, to shine your light, to spread all that goodness and joy that you have inside, because you do. Look at you. Look at you. So much love to give, so much light to give. So Spirit is asking you, if you know that you have a mission, or you're being called to do something, especially take that mission public and take your light public, now is the time. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. So Spirit is saying your person is also mirroring you, right? Healing is an ever evolving, never ending process. The only thing that changes is our awareness and the tools that we have. And if we are really serious about changing some of the dysfunctional patterns in or that we have, or that permeate through our ancestral line, we have to change our mind about them. We can't say, well, it's in my genes, or that's part of being and you call your last name, right? This is what we do, that kind of thing. No. Or this is my culture, or it's tradition to do so. No. All these self-limiting beliefs that we have, or limitations that have been put on us by society. No. Once you recognize that it's functional, whatever society, it doesn't matter what society says, family says, whatever it is, you can change. Don't limit yourself, and limit your healing and growth. Anyone can change. Anything is possible. Okay. All right, my love. So that was your reading. I hope that helped. Okay, Empress, right? I hope that helped. And I want to thank you for everything that you do for this channel. Clicking on the ads, clicking on the likes, dislikes, shares, giving heart emojis, making comments down below. They all help with the algorithm and help our community grow and expand. And it's a beautiful energy exchange. Because in everything, there must be give and take, right? That is the flow of abundance, right? So I want to thank you for that. My love, take care. Bye. Hey, Powerful, if you chose the Fairies Tarot and the Prague Fridge Magnet, this is going to be your reading. So before I get into your reading, let me pull a significator for your person's energy towards you right now. This is the Symbolum Oracle. Very powerful, beautiful deck. All right, well, we have here the Hermit, but it's the Hermit. It's a seeker of knowledge. It's someone who's in the midst of transformation, but it's someone who feels like their time is running out. Okay, so your person is trying to find out more about you, more about your spiritual beliefs, more about the connection that they share with you, because they feel like they are running out of time to change and transform and to meet your standards, to take up this wand of power and to make something of their life. I feel like your person may have a feeling that they've wasted a lot of time, and they're not in the place where they thought they would be emotionally, financially, in their relationships. This is not where they wanted to be. So they want to find out more about you. They want to find out more about their purpose, their path. And you are triggering all of this. This is someone who's on the Hermit's journey, and it's a journey into self. You know, trying to understand who you are, what makes you thick, what makes you tick, what makes you, well, I said thick. So maybe your person, maybe they're a little heavier than others, and maybe there's some sort of trauma connected to that, right? Because spiritually, usually when you're carrying a heavier body, okay, let's not say heavier body, but if you, because I'm a bigger person, if you're carrying a lot more fat on your body, it's usually some sort of self-protection. Okay, yeah, genetics play a part, but even in terms of genetics, sometimes it's epigenetics, so it is generational and transgenerational trauma that has caused the hoarding of fat in certain areas. Anyways, so maybe they're digging deep into their ancestry, trying to find out things, but this person's on a deep spiritual journey. You know, they really want to know more about the world, the universe, themselves, their family. You know, that's the journey that they're on right now. All right, they feel like you are judging them. They feel like you are judging them and that they are being found wanting. They feel like they should be punished. They feel like they should be punished. They feel like they have done some sort of deed to you, something to you that they need to be punished for. They feel like this feels like your ancestors. They feel like your ancestors, or maybe even their ancestors might be angry with them right now. They feel like the universe is punishing them for something that they may have done to you, because they're seeing you in the light of truth now. Okay, there's a lot of blue in this card, so they're seeing the truth about the situation and they are judging and condemning themselves. They feel like some of the hardships that they're going through right now is because they were not fair to you. And they feel like they deserve it. This is also someone who views you as their soul spouse, twin flame, soulmate. It's a card number 4. Okay. So they have a deep spiritual connection to you, but they feel like they have really done you wrong. And whatever is to come, whatever punishment is to come, this person, they're submitting to it. They feel like they should be punished. So, I guess that falls in that commercial. That's all because of their ideologies about what karma is, you know. They feel karma is a punishment, but karma is just consequences of one action, good or bad. Okay, so look, we have here avoidant. All right, so this person could be avoiding you because, and something that's been running through all the piles is shame. All right, we have intrigued. We have withdrawn. Well, we saw that with that hermit energy down below. And we have empowered. So we have a lot of conflicting energies when it comes to you. This person's very intrigued by you, intrigued by your ideologies, intrigued by how you carry yourself, your philosophies about life, curious to know what you're doing, curious to know what you're doing, curious to know how you feel about them because maybe you have withdrawn your energy. This person feels like you're moving on, like your ancestors are lining up somebody else for you and it ain't them. That's what they think. Okay, and this is really driving this person to take action. All right, so we're going to have a look at what kind of action they want to take. But this is really driving them to take action because they feel like they're going to lose you. There's an awareness in this person that they wasted a lot of time. They wasted a lot of time. And I think it's because, you know, you're so honest and so steadfast and your love is strong that they thought that you would always be there. So they didn't have to worry about you leaving. They didn't have to worry about you being with somebody else. But now it looks like either they're feeling psychically either that somebody's coming towards you or you are talking to somebody else. And this is really driving them to take action in their life. Let's see what kind of action they're taking in their life. How are they empowering themselves with this knowledge? Spirit, how are they empowering themselves? We have, you see, this is what driving them to come and declare their love. We have this is a Knight of Cups. And a Knight of Cups is a proposal, an offer. Sometimes it can be an apology. So they may be coming to, we know what, so this reading is about their next action towards you. Their next action towards you is one, to declare their love, and two, to apologize for the past and ask for your forgiveness. Okay, yeah, because they see you as a Queen of Pentacles. Everything they could have ever wanted and more. Everything they could ever wanted and more. I'm also getting as well and that they might be trying to get themselves more financially and emotionally stable. They want to embody that Queen of Pentacles energy themselves in order to come towards you, because this person, they've never been really stable in their life. We have Ace of Pentacles in reverse, right? I think this person has always given their power away to addictions, but now they're trying to get a handle on these addictions here. So that's the action that they're taking. For some of them, whilst they were entertaining multiple options in the past, they're only focused on one right now. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay, so this person giving themselves, their life, a complete overhaul because they want you to know that they are serious about you. They're crossing their I's and dotting their T's. Crossing their I's and dotting their T's. So they're still not doing the right thing. Crossing their T's and dotting their I's. Right? So they just want everything to be perfect. And sometimes when you want things to be perfect, and sometimes when you're rushing, you're gonna mess up. Okay, this person, I think they're motivated by the wrong thing. They're motivated by the fear of losing you. Yeah. All right. So we have here the next action towards you, Six of Cups, and that's a card of reunion, right? We have Knight of Swords in reverse. And in reverse, that's somebody that could be very hasty and harsher. Eight of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Six of Swords in reverse, and the King of Swords in reverse. All right, so they're in two minds, and I'll tell you what's going on. Their heart, their instincts, could even be their fear, is telling them to come towards you and reconcile. Okay, try to make some kind of reunion with you, ask for forgiveness. But the other part of them, and they want to do this like today. Okay, with this King of Swords in reverse, they want to do it like today. But there's a part of them that knows that they're not ready. And it is the Six of Swords in reverse. They know that they still have a lot of healing to do before they have enough tools to deal with interacting with you. Because interacting with you is very intense, emotionally intense, and triggering for this person. Okay? It makes them feel very unbalanced. And they do things that they wouldn't normally do, and they say things that they wouldn't normally say. Right? So they know they have to really get a handle on that before they approach you again. But at the same time, they're freaking out. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and he's the guy, he's always paranoid. Okay? So they're paranoid that if they take too long to do their healing and to get to cross their T's, I got it right, isn't it? Cross their T's and dot their I's, you may not be there when they return. So they're really stuck in their head as to what should be their next move. But overwhelmingly, they think the best strategy might be to take time for themselves right now whilst they go through this healing process. Like rationally, this is what they know. But then they're really afraid that if they take too long or if they don't communicate with you, that you are going to move on and they will lose their chance with you forever. So this pile is one pile where I'm not seeing a definitive action. The action is overthinking, to be honest. The action is overthinking. Or the action is to stay away from you. Because they feel like that is the best thing to do. They want to come towards you. We have the Six of Cups here. Right? So another soulmate card, right? So they want to come towards you. They feel like, let's do this now. But logically, and in the spirit too, they know that it's not time. They're not ready. They're motivated by their fear of losing you. And that's not good enough. They're going to rush in and they're going to make the same mess. Because look, they're still in the Six of Swords reverse. They've not healed. They still have a lot of narcissistic energies. We have the King of Swords in reverse, and that is the overt narcissist. So they know that their ego is still quite strong. And they know that they're going to hurt you. So their next action towards you is to continue to heal. And I think this person's going to stay away from you whilst they do that. Because whoever their shadow is, whatever their shadow is pretty nasty. So this is someone that has a very overdeveloped ego. Okay? And persons, of course, with overdeveloped egos because they face a lot of trauma. So they need time to do this work. What do they want you to know? What do they want to say to you? In their heart of hearts, what do they want to tell you? In their heart of hearts, what do they want to tell you? What's underneath the deck? Take time for self-care. I can feel when you're not taking care of yourself. So I feel that this is a message. No, okay. I was going to say it's a message from the higher self, but no, it's a message from them. Right? So this person shares a very deep psychic connection with you. And whatever is running through you is also running through them. So just as they're taking time out to take care of themselves, they want you to do the same thing. Okay? Because they can feel that energy. And that energy permeates their energetic field as well. So you taking time for self-care is also going to permeate their energy field and really support them in their healing journey. What else do they want to tell you here? Our connection triggers my unhealed wounds. Exactly what I said. Dealing with you, interacting with you is a very intense and triggering experience for this person. Okay? And some of their wounds are quite raw. And they're just reactive. Like logically they know they're meant to use the tools that they're gaining and talk about it. They know that, but it's such a visceral response, right? That they just lash out or they just ghost or they just act out before they have time to think about what would be the most appropriate response to the situation. And that's why they're staying away. I want to talk to you, but I don't know what to say. They don't even know how to begin to explain who they are and why they did the things that they did. They're still trying to gain more of an understanding of themselves. They're on that hermit's journey. Spirit sends me intuitive downloads and synchronicities about you all the time. So they can't forget you. You don't have to worry about them moving on or forgetting you or, just losing interest. There's no such thing there. They're absolutely intrigued by you. They're absolutely intrigued by you. And Spirit is constantly reminding them about you and the connection that you guys share. Right? So you don't have to worry about this person. This person they're into you. Okay, they're into you. It's just that. Just like every human being on this planet. Sometimes people need space. Sometimes people need space. And that's not to say you just sit down there in your corner doing nothing, twiddling your thumbs and waiting on this person. No. You have your own healing. You have your own journey. And that journey might be with other people. Who knows? Right? But they're just letting you know why they are acting like they are right now. They need time to heal. When in doubt, I play it out. Okay. So Spirit is saying, there is a space in your life right now for perhaps some rigorous exercise to really get some of these energies flowing or purging or, it's time to enjoy yourself. Get out of your head and get into your body, because our mind can really screw us over, When I've overshared, I simply say, wait, why am I talking? Now, oversharing is a trauma response. Okay. We have this fear that we might be misunderstood. Yes, misunderstood. We're very concerned, hypervigilant about how people view us and perceive us. Okay, so what Spirit is doing through this card is reminding you that nobody's completely healed. And there's always healing that needs to be done. And there's always more layers to the onion. And you have your own stuff to see about and your own trauma to deal with and your own coping mechanisms to figure out, right? You have your own lesson plan, okay? Your own program going on. They're in another class. They're learning their lesson. Spirit's asking you to focus on yours, okay? All right, my love, so that was your reading. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel. Clicking on the ads, donating to the Coalition for Domestic Violence, Coalition Against Domestic Violence in my country. Your likes, your dislikes, your shares, the little hearts in the comments. All these help with the algorithm and it helps our community grow and expand. And I'm grateful for you. All right, my loves, take care.